Hey everyone, Gig Coach Jake here, and boy do I have some hot news for y'all today. DoorDash is finally changing their stance on their pay model. They just sent an email to all of us Dashers a little bit ago with a survey and in kind of discussing what they plan to do and their stance on everything. So before I get into the email and share all that with you, I want to talk a little bit about this. Now, this is a big deal. They're really not happy with Instacart because Instacart brought a lot of attention to a pay model they've had going on successfully since 2017. Now there's a lot of attention to that thanks to Instacart, plus lawsuit that's going on. Now, again, I don't believe they're going to lose that lawsuit that's going on, but the bad publicity in a time when they're putting in for an IPO is not good. Now, this helps them with that. So think about that, right? You're DoorDash, you're putting in for IPO, you want people to buy your stock, especially those that are on the board, right? The CEOs, they're going to make bank. They're going to make millions, if not potentially billions. The investors will get paid back. So they want a good image when they go into the public trading, so that way people are actually going to buy their stock, right? Uber doesn't seem to care about that. So anyhow, Lyft plays this good guy image, right? So Lyft has a lot of the consumers and people fooled. Lyft's no different than Uber. Anyhow, this is great news. Now, one of the things I've been doing is trying to educate drivers. I know some of you are like, you've been pushing DoorDash referrals, blah, blah. I teach drivers how to work smarter. I teach them how to take advantage of the system that's taking advantage of them. So before you go make me out to some martyr and say that I'm some shill, that I work for DoorDash, I do not. Look at some of my videos. You think DoorDash has somebody put out videos that teaches drivers how to reject offers, how to manipulate their bonus system? No. Come on now. Let's be real. I'm teaching you how to work smarter and take advantage of the crap that these companies are putting out there, right? They take advantage of all of us. We're working the system that's working us. We're independent contractors. All I do is advise you of your actual true rights because there's a lot of crap and nonsense out there, including other YouTube creators, that are putting stuff that trick people into thinking they're employees and into an employee relationship. So anyhow, let's get back to the task at hand that matters. So they're going to make changes to this pay model finally. Big deal, right? They've taken the lead in a market share, and they want to keep that lead. One way they can keep that lead is by retaining drivers. Now, Grubhub is running a bunch of different pay model changes, right? They're running a bunch of tests to see how they're going to change that. Now, if Grubhub implements a model where they're paying extra when people aren't tipping, that's huge for them, gives them a leg up on DoorDash. But DoorDash seems to be very fast to respond to anything in the market. So, unlike Grubhub, they're one of the first to act. They're quick to change things when they see that it's affecting their outcomes, right? So, I guarantee what's happening is they see maybe less offers, maybe decreased tips. Their collected data since all this has come out with Instacart, and now what are we, a month into it or so, and they're like, crap, this has really affected our bottom line. We need to make some changes immediately. And we need to make it look good, right? So we're going to send out an email to all the Dashers. We're going to put out a survey and collect all their thoughts, right? And then we're going to spin it. We're going to say we're taking all their thoughts and implement it to a new pay model. Well, potentially they will take some of our feedback into play. So let's make sure that all of you that are Dashers go in, check your email, and fill out this survey. What can it do, right? It can't hurt. Make sure that you're not giving information that is going to hurt drivers, right? We don't want lower pay models. We want to be paid what we deserve as independent contractors. We have a lot of overhead, a lot of expenses to think about, and we're driving our cars into the ground. So, with all that being said, let's take a look at this email so I can share all of you what you're going to see, what they're looking at, and I want to show you the survey that they're giving us. So let's check that out. Now here's the email I received. Let's go ahead and read it. Jacob, over the past few weeks, there has been a lot of discussion in the media about our pay model. So I wanted to reach out to you directly. Gotta love the media, right? Force their hand. We know that you come to DoorDash to help achieve your goals. We want to fuel your success, and our North Star has always been and forever will be to do what's best for the Dashers, consumers, and merchants we serve. That's a complete line of BS. And those of us that work for DoorDash or have, right? Anyhow, let me read on. Prior to rolling out the pay model in 2017, we conducted months of testing and surveyed thousands of Dashers. Our primary goal was to ensure that Dashers received a fair amount for every delivery. That was not your primary amount. How can you make the most money in the process, right? To pay off your investors and be profitable. So, let me read on anyhow. Our primary goal is to ensure that Dashers receive a fair amount for every delivery, regardless of the size of the order or whether the customer leaves a big tip, a small tip, or no tip at all. We continue to hear from many of you that the model works. You know how much you'll receive in advance. No, we don't. You show us a guarantee that hides the total payout all the time. More crap. You receive the guaranteed minimum even if the customer doesn't tip. How many times does that not happen, right? I want to see data on how few people tip. And in 2018, U.S. Dashers received on average more than $17.50 per hour on a delivery. But we've also heard from some who express confusion about how pay is calculated and what happens with tips. Now that $7.15 per hour does not including our expenses, taxes, and yada yada. So let's talk about the $17.50 per hour and how many miles that some of those Dashers are driving to make that money, right? So think about that. There's profitability. There's so many factors they're not including in this stuff that they put right here, and they make it sound so sweet. All of them do, right? It's all like all these gig companies have a model or somewhere where they pull these from an outline, right? And they go from. Anyhow, in the coming weeks, we'll be launching surveys and organizing Dasher roundtables to hear even more from you and other members of our community. What you'll think works, what you think doesn't work, and how you think we can improve. If you would like to participate in one of these roundtables, please let us know here. Now click on this hyperlink. This is going to take you to an actual survey where you can put in your name and then you'll be able to be contacted and be part of this process. So very important that we get as many Dashers as possible involved in this. So once we digest your feedback and suggestions, we will report back on what we learned and what changes we plan to make in response. As CEO of DoorDash, I am committed to continually listening so we can build the best platform for all of our users. We look forward to hearing from you. Tony. Now, Tony, if you're watching this, that is a freaking line of bull and you know it, man. The only reason you're writing this letter and doing this is because Instacart pulled the rug out from underneath you guys by exposing what you've been doing to the public. Now the public knows. You've had a lot of backlash. There's been tons of articles written, and that's why you're writing this article. That's why you're making changes. You're trying to find a middle ground. You're also getting ready. You're putting in for IPO, public trade, right? You're just trying to save face, man. Let's be real. You don't give a crap about Dashers. You don't give a crap about the consumers. All you care about is profits. So let's take a look at what that survey looks like. We're going to see that, right? So let's give that a look. So once you click that hyperlink, this is what's going to pop up. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Yeah, I bet you are. If you'd like to participate in a Dasher Roundtable, please provide your email address right here. So type in the email address, and then we'll see what happens with all this, right? Click submit. That's it. So easy as that. Make sure you click on that hyperlink, submit your email, and again, the more Dashers that we can get to participate, the better off we all are. Lots of good stuff ahead for us gig workers and those of you that are Dashers. Now, as I always say, we don't want to have all of our eggs in one basket. You want to have multiple apps. There's times where Grubhub is slow, I get nothing, and DoorDash is going off, and I can make some money on there. These companies have no loyalty whatsoever to any of us gig workers, so we should have no loyalty to them whatsoever. When someone like Grubhub actually takes initiative to change their pay model where we can make really good money, for example, the one I just shared yesterday that was tested in my market and has been tested in markets nationwide right now. Now, if they implement one like that, I'll probably hardly ever do any dashes, and I will do Grubhub primarily because I can make a really good living. I can make $1,500 a week with that pay model, no problem. So, Grubhub, if you're watching this video, step up your game and implement that model, and you will crush DoorDash. If you don't, big things are coming from DoorDash, and you all just seen why. I hope this video helps. If anything, entertaining some of you to like hearing some of the stuff that's going on out there that don't even work for DoorDash or maybe even Grubhub. You might be doing rideshare, right? Anyhow, have a great day, evening. Be safe out there. I heard there's some crazy weather going across like Colorado and the U.S. Have fun, and as always, work hard, but work smarter.